Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Franchise Pearson, and welcome again to my channel. It is February 2nd of 2026. I have 9:38 in the a.m. 22. You know, that's the number. Yeah, 22. There's a V on the head of Barack Obama, and I pet go 2. So I wouldn't be surprised if something happens today representing that 22. Well, this morning I want to talk about all these layoffs which are not being discussed nationwide and worldwide, and the impact that it's having on our economy. I predict this I believe the second day that Trump was in office, when he brought in the AI techs, the most renowned, affluent, and influential AI techs in America and the world. The very next day after he was inaugurated, that's who he brought in. In the history of America, this has never happened before. At that point, I knew where they were going. And it is equally spiritual as it is financial. But let's say it together. Praise our Heavenly Father, from whom all blessings flow. Thank you, God, for your Son, Jesus. May the blood of Jesus cover us and go with us. Lord, send your angels as we progress on this journey, one more day closer to that coming. And yes, he is coming. All the signs are around us. And yes, he does ask for us to endure unto the end. He will not leave us or forsake us. So I do ask for God to send his Holy Spirit and his angels. Give us direction and peace. We need the peace of mind to think, so our hearts will not fail us for fear. So I want to show you a variety of videos, which is only a small snapshot of what's progressing throughout the United States. Let's start with UPS, okay? The downsizing of America in relation to AI.
Atlanta-based UPS announced they're cutting up to 30,000 operational jobs in 2026. We're talking about jobs like drivers and those who load trucks in the warehouse. Last year, the company said they were working to reduce their dependence on their biggest customer, Amazon, and focus on other industries. The CFO saying the job cuts will be made through a voluntary buyout and mostly through attrition.
One was the tariffs on low dollar value items coming from China. And then number 2 is the winding down of the Amazon business. Both of those lines of business were probably pretty low margin. And so this will improve the profitability of UPS.
Doug Bowman teaches marketing at Emory University and has closely followed what UPS is doing. A UPS rep told us a lot of this also has to do with automating certain jobs.
The logistics industry obviously is going under, there's a lot of pressures for automation. We see in the popular press, Amazon is very good at giving us sound bites about how automated their warehouses are. That puts a lot of pressure on companies like UPS.
UPS will be closing their facility on Marvin Miller Drive in Atlanta. In a statement, they tell us, quote, all affected employees are being offered positions at nearby locations. UPS remains one of the leading employers in the Atlanta metro area with approximately 12,000 employees, and we are committed to supporting our employees throughout this process.
UPS is a well-run company. I would trust that they'll do their best if they can.
Here's one about Nike.
Brutal conditions outside and inside. Employees at 2 Memphis Nike distribution centers are getting tough news too. 583 workers will be laid off effective April 3rd. The 2 locations impacted off New Fraser Boulevard and Shelby Drive. People we talked to who live in the neighborhood say this is a big loss.
I know my kitchen there. That's mainly what they got. The neighborhood, a lot of people work there.
Shelby County Commissioner Charlie Caswell, known for his work in the Raleigh-Fraser community, says he was disappointed when he heard the news. And then he got a phone call.
Church member who was working for Nike for 30-some years to get the letter themselves to say that they will be laid off, it hit closer to home.
As for why the layoffs are happening, the company tells us in part, We're taking steps to strengthen and streamline our operations so we can move faster, operate with greater discipline, and better serve athletes and consumers. We are sharpening our supply chain footprint, accelerating the use of advanced technology and automation, and investing in the skills our teams need for the future. Our actions to consolidate our operations footprint primarily impact our U.S. distribution operations. These actions are designed to reduce complexity, improve flexibility, and build a more responsive, resilient, responsible, and efficient operation, and to support our path back to long-term profitable growth. Caswell says it's now time to support those affected.
To know that many of these individuals in our community are going to be impacted right here in the Raleigh-Frazier community, that's something that we most definitely begin a discussion around. How could we?
And last we have Dow Chemical. Dow Chemical, 4,500.
Dow Chemical is a major employer here in Freeport. It was established in 1940 and spans more than 7,000 acres. The chemical complex here is one of the largest in the world. Dow has more than 40 production plants here that produce 44% of Dow's products in the U.S. and 20% worldwide. Dow says it will lay off almost 50% of its workforce, some 5,000 employees.
For Freeport, this is a big deal given that Dow employs about 7,000 people at its site and also uses another 4,500 contractors in the vicinity. So the loss of a significant amount of jobs is going to be a big impact throughout the community.
The reason? A shift to AI automation.
Some of it is due simply to the competition that we're seeing in the petrochemical industry, where a lot of the big plants are being built in the Middle East as well as China.
While specifics of how and where layoffs will occur.
I want you to really marinate on that last part. AI automation and then the competition that's overseas. Clue.
It is due simply to the competition that we're seeing in the petrochemical industry, where a lot of the big plants are being built in the Middle East as well as China.
While specifics of how and where layoffs will occur are unknown, the news isn't good for small business owners.
Isn't that something? And last, we will discuss, let's, before I get into the other two, let me say this to you people. I've said before, I'm gonna say it again. The power's got a time machine. They go in and out of portals. They know the future and the progression of it. They know where they want to be 3 months, 6 months, 3 years from now. And so they have to sell it, and gradually they have to implement it. I've done videos in relation to this before, where I talked about how the average man and woman back in the 60s, they went to work with the factories in the neighborhood. They call them lunch bucket jobs. They get up, go to work 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, work at a factory, 2 or 3 shifts. That is, almost 24 hours in the factory. Then they would walk home. And that one income could pretty much take care of family, raise kids, let them go to college. And that's changed over time. Progress is good, but progress can also handicap. And what we see here, in my humble opinion, is a deliberate attempt to make the American obsolete. What they did back in the day, in my humble opinion, was that they sent the factories and most industries overseas that was signed off by Herbert Walker Bush and Bill Clinton, NAFTA, familiar? And so what it did, it left a vacuum of jobless opportunities, of opportunities for employment. And everybody, again, is not built to be a manager or an AI specialist. They just do basic stuff, tool and die. They work automotive. Some people work, delivery jobs. Some folks become nurses. Most are not managers. And most want to be within a respectable time frame 30 minutes to 40 minutes from their home. They don't like having to rush hour traffic, through rush hour traffic, nor being frustrated getting home. Although it is time to unwind, but still it's a lot. And we fast forward now, somewhere in between, I believe our government, along with the social planners, they created a new economy. DRUGS, yes, DRUGS. If you notice, it wasn't, or even simultaneously, as the factories left to go overseas to places like he just named China. Okay, they said in the name of progress and keeping their costs down to make goods, we will get rid of the factories here in America, send them overseas. China is our cousin. We help set up the economy and their automation. And like I said in last week's video, this was a way for them to create an AI dystopian camera, Ellison 1984 type situation in China. And then once they got that down pat, they'd bring it to America and other countries, other nations. So yeah, don't be fooled. They destroyed us. They destroyed America in terms of the family and people dying. To me, they allowed the drugs to come over here. You can do your own due diligence. I've done my videos. Journalists have paid a price for this. Look up Gary Webb. Gary Webb, he basically gave his life investigating how under Ronald Reagan, drugs allegedly were allowed, quote unquote, to come over here to America so they could make money, then take that money to buy arms to fight wars overseas. Just do the research and you'll be amazed the justification for it. And that was, well, Reagan administration wasn't getting enough money because the Congress said no more money for, I believe it was Nicaragua. So we need money to fight this war. So let's bring the drugs to America from overseas and sell them here, make the money, and then boom, send that money back to a foreign country so we can fight the rebels over there. People, it was a two-edged sword. They killed our economy. Then we started selling drugs. Hundreds of thousands of people, mainly poor blacks, whites, and Latinos, wind up in jail. And not only did a new economy branch out through drugs, it also was a new economy for the prison system. If you sell toothpaste, napkins, beds, people who built the prisons, shoes, uniforms, security, surveillance. It was all made on our backs. All because they started out by doing what? Sending the jobs overseas. That's just my humble opinion. Tell me what you think in the comment section. So now we fast forward to Trump becoming elected president, and the first thing he does is he brings in all the AI folks. And he said how we're going to have a robust economy. He's always talking about how we're going to build X amount of car factories, this factory. Every time you hear him, he got a microphone in his mouth saying, we got factories being built right now as we speak. We're a flourishing country. People don't believe the hype, because at the same time, he Mickey Mouse with the economy through tariffs. And if you listen closely to this, right, tariffs were in part the problem with, with the downsizing of certain companies. This is what the issue is. Let's listen to it again.
The tariffs on low dollar value items coming from China. And in number two,
see that? Low tariff. The tariff tax. Tariff is a tax. Listen.
Buyout and mostly through attrition.
one was the tariffs on low dollar value items coming from China. And then number two is the winding down of the Amazon business. Both of those lines of business were probably pretty low margin.
And when you have a low margin and now you have a tax, which is a tariff, now you got to cut back somewhere else. Labor. when you're in business, you only do so much to cut back. Make a person do the job of two people already, maybe three. You stay open late, you raise prices. Now you got a robot to deal with. Come on, man. But when the media was first explaining the tariff thing, they didn't go enough detail, in my humble opinion. Tariff is a tax. If someone is selling gym shoes from overseas and now the tax goes up, that is, the tariff goes up because of the president, they're going to literally offset that cost. They're not going to eat that cost. The buyer who sells it to you, they're not going to eat that cost, at least not a big portion. They're going to up the price, the expense it costs to get the product here. That means you pay for the difference. Well, hell, you just lost your job. It's criminal. It's criminal. So yeah, I said that it would take a while, 6 months to a year plus, for this tariff thing to work its way through our economy, and it has worked its way through the economy, and now you're seeing one state after another. Tariffs, automation, advanced technology. They want to restore a company back to profitability because they've taken a hit, not only in tariffs, but the cost of living and the cost of operations. And now you bring in AI. So you got AI going on, and it's more profitable to have AI do the work as opposed to you. Do you understand? This is where we're at. Welcome to the new Trump economy. Now, tell me what you would do in this situation. We just had this cold snap starting early in January, and a lot of people couldn't go to work, and they did go to work. They found out just how their employers were treating them.
A USPS mail carrier continues to speak out after being put on leave this week when he expressed his weather safety concerns on social media.
Now, this is a story we first brought you on Fox 19 Now. After our original story aired, that mail carrier was told to return to work, but hasn't just yet. Our Alexis Martin in the studio, she sat down with Jason Thomas again today to figure out where he stands now. Alexis, this situation really gaining national attention now.
Jason was put on leave on Monday before being asked to come back just a few hours later, but he hasn't returned to work yet. He tells me he's taking some time off because he doesn't want to go back until a meeting is set up between himself, his union leader, and corporate to discuss what happened.
Started with a lot of concern and uncertainty and frustration and questions, led to an explosion of support.
On Monday, during a level 2 snow emergency, Jason Thompson arrived to work at the USPS Fairfield facility to find trucks buried in snow with no packages to deliver. He says he was expected to dig his truck out anyway or lose a PTO day if he went home. Thompson posted his frustrations on Facebook, calling for change.
I find it very ironic that the first thing I said in my actual post was, I know I'm not the only one. I know we're not the only one. I had that in.
So he utilized social media. Sometimes you got to be careful. Now, some might say, he's a weenie. He's a weenie. Grab the shovel. Dig yourself out. Be a man. Then some might say, look, I've been part of big businesses as well. Don't they have an overnight maintenance team, at least 2 guys or whomever? Could have had all those trucks out there clearing the path, taking 1 truck at a time, making sure the snow wouldn't build up. That way, when the people got there, the mail carriers at 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, they wouldn't have to worry about doing the shovel, utilizing the shovel. Is it in their union contract? Suppose he hurt himself. Suppose he slipped. Anything could have happened. I just want to bring out both sides. But it goes to show you, like I showed you guys last summer, I did a live video where I showed and I talked about the last job that I went back to, this time as a mid-level supervisor, and for over 6 months, they wouldn't give me a lunch or a break. My employer, nor the place that I worked at, they didn't give a damn. Everybody else had lunch, but I'm at the front desk and I couldn't eat. And I was so frustrated, I walked out 2 minutes before my shift. And of course, I got fired. The way that we're treating employees in America is out of hand. I'm a senior citizen. I was, 64 years old. I do take my meds and I do take my vitamins and my herbs. But I come out of the Malcolm X, Dr. King era. If you push me the wrong way, you're going to get either Malcolm X, you're going to get Dr. King. It is what it is. That day, I went a little bit Dr. King and say, look, but I didn't hurt nobody. I just internally, I was so hurt that nobody valued me enough that they would allow me to have a lunch, but everybody in the building had a lunch. Where are my rights? When the economy gets bad, you noticed, I'm sure, put it in the comment section, you lose your damn rights because the economy stinks. And the little thing that we could do to help each other and comfort each other and be civil toward each other, we don't even do it. Now, I'm gonna go back to the snow dam, to go to the snow thing. He ain't got to shovel no damn snow. He's a mail carrier. If he gets stuck, I'm assuming he got a shovel in there in his truck. He probably do that. Okay, no problem. My dad worked for the mail company 33 years. God bless him. But he worked inside. But still, I know mail carriers that have lost their keys or left their keys inside of the truck. And people come out from the mail company and, help them. Not kind of the same situation, but you got people for every specialty area. It's not his job to shovel the damn snow. But I'm just giving you this example. We have become very insensitive as employees, as employers, and we're fighting each other instead of fighting this system. Now, this one video really got me where the guy was talking about how these jobs are going overseas. These jobs should not be going overseas. You feel me? These jobs should not be going overseas. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Trump is fighting that to a certain extent, but he didn't win this battle. Why are these jobs going overseas? Why are these companies, how can we keep them here? What incentives can we create? Instead of these governors and mayors fighting for all these illegals, they should be getting together economically in our respective states, trying to figure out how in the hell you're going to keep these corporations in America. And there should be penalties for companies to do the same thing they did in the 60s and 70s, taking their butt overseas. Just tell me what you think. I said this was going to come. $500 billion private sector infrastructure, and it's called Stargate. I want you to listen to this, because this is spirit. To me, they're opening up portals and realms, people. It's more than just AI. Make citizens behave and make cops act right. I think it's deeper than that. Check it out. It's a video that I did 8 months ago. Let's look at it together.
Trump announces up to $500 billion in private sector infrastructure investments. Right? Did I read all that? It's coming. And it's called Stargate. Stargate. What is Stargate? That's a spiritual term. When you go into a gate, that's a portal, baby. That's a portal.
Did you know your life insurance policy is a valuable asset you can sell? Well,
that's spiritual. I'm theorizing. Is that the reason why we had that Pope knock on the door? Remember the video I did? You had that one religious leader in France took that staff and knocked on that wall? Was he opening up stargates? I'm just asking the legend.
The Egyptian sun god with the Roman sun god. And they're pushing it because they know their time is short. They know it.
Imagine bringing your side project.
This is what they want to do, people. And they're hiding it. Get us in plain sight, right? It's called Stargate. $550 billion they put into it right away. And eventually our jobs will be taken over through automation. And it's slowly happening. I will put this video in the description so you can understand what's really going on, okay? God bless. And God bless America, and God bless the world. It's entrapment for Revelation 13. Want me to buy or sell without the mark. They're going to kill this economy gradually. Have us hobbling. Creating anarchy in the streets. It's self-imposed. What do you think about Trump now? Fool me once, fool me twice. God bless.